Thérèse and La Navarraise have mostly nothing in common, except that they are two Massenet operas and two masterpieces by Massenet. So our goal was to unify them and to give them a feeling of why those two pieces should be together. What we decided is to take visual art as the basic element of the production.
We decided to put the first one, Thérèse, in a restoration workshop at the Louvre Museum, and we imagined that some restorers were preparing an exhibition about the French Revolution and especially the days of La Terreur where the action is taking place, and that the main character of the opera would come out of the paintings being restored that night and reliving their last days of their lives, almost like ghosts. And for the second one, Navarraise, we wanted to inspire ourselves from the work of Picasso, the beautiful painting Guernica. So this is why we took the libretto by Massenet and followed it very closely, but transposed it into the 1938 Spanish Civil War.
Massenet is a real craftsman of composition. You hear a melody that is very catchy, and in both Thérèse and Navarraise, this is just purely musically speaking, but if you look at the score, it is never repeated 100%. He always changes a little bit depending on whether the theme is coming, whether it's more dramatic, whether he's invoking something from the past, or if it's present and you really feel it within the music.
The theater here is like a jewel. It's a really spectacular place to sing because it's so intimate. Like there's so much that I can do, dynamically in terms of like singing really quietly and having these great contrasts, which really serves the Massenet, the music really well. And so just singing in the theater itself, the productions are incredible and there's so much detail. And I think because of the intimate nature of the space, the audiences are really going to be able to see all these really specific details that André and Renaud have put into the production.
In my opinion, but it's only my opinion, I think Navarraise is an attempt to almost to verismo music in the Italian fashion, like Cavalleria Rusticana by Mascagni. It doesn't sound so French, actually. It sounds more Italian, and you will hear when you hear the first chords of the overture, you feel like you're in Italy.
I didn't know those two operas, but I listened to them, and the first time I said, "Oh my God, how come it's not more on stage?" Because they're great, and the combination that Renaud, it is his idea to have those two combinations. They're working really well because it's, again, as all opera about love, death, and but it's really complementary, those two. I think those two operas are well going together, like Cavalleria Rusticana and Pagliacci. It's really well two operas, and I think it's a great, great, great evening.
This is the crystallization of the beauty of opera. Massenet is a beautiful melody, beautiful moments. It also fights against this kind of notion that opera is all about just elite things. I mean, the themes of these two operas, themes that are still very current, and it's not about just kind of superficial pleasure. It is about an exaltation and sensation of something that is very real and goes to the core.
What we found here is the reason to do them together, and to have one of the most emotional evening and gorgeous evening at the opera. So don't miss it.